so.
Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Nigeria on Television Nigerian. My name is Anthony Modi. Welcome to today's broadcast. It promises to be very exciting as we've got all the biggest news and information just for you. I'm not alone, I've got.
All right, it's a very special Tuesday morning, and of course, a very exciting one for the Matter Daybreak Nigeria right here on Television Nigeria. My name is Cynthia Ago, and of course, for the next 1 hour, we're talking about so many important things, looking at our topic for today, and hopefully our guests will be around to discuss on Lassa fever threats, and of course, we have our concerns for the day, and of course, the biggest story in and around the world.
Yeah, definitely. On this day, May 8, 2018, the president of the biggest black nation in the world, Nigeria, will be traveling on a 4-day medical trip to the United Kingdom. And we wish him all the best. These younger ladies, and I think that it may be steeper punishment for those who have been caught. And we hope that this as a deterrence to others. But going to the next concern, we've got Trump is set to announce the pullout of the Iranian nuclear deal today. Everyone is waiting cautiously to see if Trump is going to change his mind. We had the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson, travel to the US trying to convince Trump not to pull out. So we're watching keenly what plays out. Already Iran is threatening that hell is going to be let loose if the US pulls out and the remaining members decide not to protect their own interests. Then they will go their own way, which might spell doom for the world and the Arab region. So we hope that common sense would prevail.
I think that it's going to be really, really funny if they are waiting for Trump to change his mind at the level. Trump is not that person who is known to just wake up one morning and change his mind. Whatever decision he wants to make is something that he has slept over it. He has thought weeks about it. He has thought days about it. So he doesn't just wake up one morning. And I think on several occasions he have been expecting him to change his mind, but it doesn't happen. So I think that whatever it is, if he is set to pull out of the Iranian deal, just know that he has made up his mind to do that.
Yeah, because he says America first.
America
All right,
first.
we'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll keep our tabs on the US to see what Trump is going to say this morning. All right, still talking about the US, we've got big information that US Embassy road map and road signs are up in Jerusalem. Remember when Trump caused some stir globally when he said the US was recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and we know fully well that the Palestinians and Israelites, they owned that particular region, and it's been a cause of concern. And the fact that road signs are up in Jerusalem means that the United States are going the full hog.
All right, we have a New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, a twist of fate.
Yes, we remember Me Too, hashtag Me Too, that trended in 2017 when that famous movie director was, roped,
for some misconduct
against women. But the Attorney General who actually sent him to jail, Eric Schneiderman, has his own bitter pill to swallow. He has been accused of doing the same thing, and so it tells you how wonderful this is. It just reminds you of that adage: when you point one finger,
that's
the
a point
four are coming back.
But it's really pathetic. When the case actually came up, it was the listing.
Weinstein, right?
Yes, it was a listing we expected from a man like that. But it was so amazing that one person came out and several others started coming out to say, oh, he had done this, he had done that. But it just goes along to show us that no matter how hidden something is, it will definitely come out to the open. And of course, talking about the attorney right now, be careful the things you do, because you never could tell.
All right, so those are our concerns of the day on the foreign scene. It's now time for us to give you the biggest stories on the foreign scene, and Cynthia kicks out.
All right, we hear that Amnesty International has accused Egypt of torturing political prisoners in solitary confinement.
And big business news says that Walmart is expected to announce a deal to buy India's Flipkart.
Italy faces fresh elections as coalition talks fail.
And still on Italy, let's tell you the head of Italy's five-star movement say elections must hold in July.
New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman resigns amid abuse reports of women.
And taking you to Iraq, Iraq is to hold their first general elections on Sunday. Good news.
UN says Afghanistan airstrike killed and injured 107 boys and men in the Kunduz province during a religious ceremony last month.
And taking you back to India, a 17-year-old girl set ablaze in India's second case of teenage rape and murder in 2 days.
Really sad. India police say main suspect has been arrested and awaiting trial.
All right, taking to the UK, history was made as UK sees this warmest May Day bank holiday on record.
US president is expected to announce his withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal on Tuesday.
And taking you to Lebanon, let's tell you that Hezbollah and political allies claims victory in Lebanon's general elections.
Vladimir Putin has been sworn in as Russian president for another 6 years tenure.
Congratulations to the strong man called Vladimir Putin. All right, let's go to US and tell you that France and Germany make last-ditch efforts to convince Trump not to pull out of the Iranian nuclear deal.
And the US Vice President Mike Pence has called an organization of American states to drop Venezuela's membership.
Taking you to Armenia, good news coming to Armenia after weeks of protest. Let's say the Armenian parliament is expected to elect opposition leader Nikol Pashinyan as prime minister.
And Cambodia's Supreme Court has rejected appeal for the release of major opposition leader Kem Sokha pending his trial.
Okay, it's time for us to go to the very exciting and sweating world of sports.
19-year-old Denis Shapovalov claims his first ever clay court win in the Madrid Open on Monday.
All right, still talking about the Madrid Open, former world number one Novak Djokovic continues his injury comeback with a second-round win in the Madrid Open.
And former world number one Maria Sharapova continues her comeback with a third-round win in the Madrid Open.
Lots of tennis. Let's hit the ball into Nigeria and let's get to know how beautiful this world country called Nigeria is green, white, green, just like the tennis floor.
Okay, now knowing Nigeria, in one day, the richest Nigerian man can earn from his wealth 8,000 times more than what the poorest 10 of Nigerians spend on the average in 1 year for their basic consumption.
Oh boy.
And about 54 million of Nigeria's estimated 78 million women live in rural areas and off the land.
All right, let's tell you that the British Council 2012 report suggests that Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of female entrepreneurship in sub-Saharan Africa.
And this is where we get to know Africa. In 2008, reports suggest in rural Malawi, women are more frequently unpaid, even when working outside the home.
And over from let's tell you, okay, just to tell you, wrap it up, to tell you that West Africa remains the dominant force in the world of football as compared to the northern region of Africa. But that's not to say that the North Africans are more organized than the West Africans, who seem to always be very skillful, more skillful than the North Africans.
Really?
That's how we wrap it up. Yeah, they're actually more, because the West African players are usually shorter, they're more well-built.
Okay.
They're more skillful with the ball on their feet.
And
They'll go the ball.
entertainment.
Yeah, and they love showbiz. So you see, they bring that into their game. But the North Africans are very strategic. They're very disciplined, very tactical. And when you put in between it, they're very tricky.
Okay, something happened. A record was broken yesterday in the world of entertainment, and it was very beautiful. Kylie Jenner actually broke the record of, dethroned Beyonce as having one of the highest number of followers on Instagram. And of course, one of her posts on Instagram is worth $1 million. So that's big
money, but I wonder if anyone can ever dethrone Beyonce.
But Kylie Jenner did that.
We remember what happened when a certain man, can't remember his name right now, beat Bill Gates to the world richest man just for some few hours.
But it's a different world right here. This is entertainment, and of course, if you look at Kylie Jenner, if you look at Kylie seems to be one of the, in fact, not even seems, she is the youngest of the Kardashian family. But the truth is, her worth grows by the day.
Okay, my argument here is that Beyonce has done it consistently. She's been, like they say, walking your way up there is not as difficult as staying up there. So Beyonce has stayed there quite long enough, and you have to give her kudos for that. But we want to see how well she can stay up there.
And I will tell you that in this particular business, I can assure you, we will come back and talk about this, that Beyonce will not be able to have a comeback on Kylie Jenner, because right now, one of her posts is $1 million.
All right, talking about world issues, let's give you world statistics and focus for today. We're looking at it. 2014, renewable energy employed an estimated 7.7 million directly and indirectly. Large hydro was estimated to employ roughly 1.5 million direct jobs in the sector.
In renewable energy, solar photovoltaic is the largest employer worldwide with 2.5 million jobs.
Now all right, I will go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be looking at the big stories making the rounds on just national dailies. Then before we wrap up today's program, there's going to be Nations for just for you, and we'll be looking at the Republic.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today, or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
All right, Daybreak Nigeria in full effect. It's now time for us to look at the big stories making the rounds on Nigeria's national dailies. We've got the Punch newspaper, the Daily Sun, the Leadership, the Nations newspaper, the Blueprint, and the Sporting Life for review. And Cynthia will do us the honors by kick-starting with the Nation.
All right, the big story on the Nations this morning. Ekiti APC aspirants NWC disagree over shadow poll. And the writer here says, Oni Bamidele Ojudu, 24 others seek fresh primary, sack of Al Makura committee. And also NWC, we won't change panel. Oni petition to Oyego system compromised. And we also have killings meant to instigate war, says Buhari. And you'll find that at the front page of the Nation, and of course continue on page 6. Buhari on medical trip to London, that is on page 43. And on page 5, something interesting, tearful, Evans, no good food in prison. And their troops rescue 1,000 Boko Haram hostages, that is on page 42. And on Sporting, see we have Eagle Star Will Indeed resumes training. That's on page 39, and $36.371 billion spent in fuel importation in 5 years. We also have something here. Governor recovers 7.8 billion and $378 million through whistleblowers policy. This is something from Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, where he says we saw no savings when we came in. That is coming from the Vice President. And so many interesting stories right here on the Nation newspaper that you definitely want to take a look at. So let's talk about this statement by the Vice President. We saw those savings when we came in, and of course, government has recovered 7.8 billion naira through the whistleblower policy.
All right, we know that the Vice President is a pastor, so let's try to believe that what he said is true, because over time we always hear when new administrations come, they say they didn't see anything left in the covers, but it's hard to believe that the covers were totally empty. Because if it was that empty, then I don't think they would have had a penny to get to do the running around and other expenses. So I think it's just a political statement.
Or how about Evans complaining that there is no good food and no good condition for him in
someone
prison?
should remind him he's not in his his mansion, he's in prison, he's not supposed to be having all he needs. But I think it just goes to tell us the worrisome situation in the prisons, and but it's a very sad commentary, because I remember one of the ministers telling us they spend 14,000 naira per food per prisoner
per person for 3 times a day.
And it shows that's a very big lie, and it just tells us how deceitful our leaders could be. But already we know that the prisons are not in very good conditions. But for Evans, he should.
I don't expect him to be complaining.
Well, he expects the fact that he has been dilly-dallying with the Nigerian police. They've compromised in the past, and so he expects some preferential treatment as an A-class.
Why should he prefer
prisoner.
a preferential treatment? Was that how he treated his hostages when he kidnapped them?
Another question is that in the beginning, when he was in the police custody, probably he didn't get that kind of treatment, and so suddenly the treatments have turned sour. That's why he's complaining now.
And he also complained about him being beaten. I was reading the story yesterday.
But it's very wrong,
wondering,
because the court said you don't have the right to maltreat him, or he's still presumed innocent until proven guilty. So it tells us that the wrong things are being done, and we hope the prison warders are being cautioned.
All right.
All right, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The big stories there. Beginning, Saraki Dogara report IG to Buhari over Senate and Melaye. And that story is on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. We've got ICPC charges suspended SEC DG Guazo with 115 million naira fraud. Page 24 is where you find that fascinating story. We've got codeine syrup, NAFDAC shot Emzor and 2 other firms. Page 24 is where you find that story. Buhari embarks on 4-day medical trip to UK today. Stop deceiving Nigerians about your health. PDP tells President. And we've got court hears Melaye's bail application on Thursday. And page 9 is where you find that big story. We've got federal government will start scheme to support power distributors. Fashola is speaking on page 28 of the Punch newspaper. We've got 2,092 delegates pick Ekiti PDP governorship candidate today. And page 18 is where you find that interesting story. EFCC charges ex-Plateau Governor Jang with 6.3 billion naira fraud. While we've got $36.3 billion spent on petroleum products importation in 4 years. CBN speaking on page 25. We've got an interesting story coming from Kaduna. It says killings, Buhari okay's new security measures for Kaduna State. Those are the big stories making the rounds. Let's go quick to the big story on page 9. It says Sarakia and Dogara report IG to Buhari. It's like reporting, I don't know, it's a very funny issue, because it just shows you that the IG technically is now more powerful than the National Assembly. What a sad story.
Well, it's not really seen that way, in as much as it's really, really pathetic and embarrassing to get to own up to something like that, possibly he doesn't pay a certain level of respect to these people. But that shouldn't be the case. But I think that it's a good, because yesterday we know that the president had a meeting with Dogara and, of course,
Saraki.
Yeah. So if they had, I think they discussed several issues. So if one of the things they discussed was about the attitude of the RGB, then it's a good thing. But I think the president should also call the RG to order and let him know that whatever it is, and he should, in fact, no matter what happens, he should heed to the summon of the National Assembly. It just shows a level of respect when you do that, because if you doesn't heed to the calling, it will be someone of the National Assembly.
So why would he expect someone to heed the call of the Nigerian police, like Milai, for instance?
Exactly. That is a very valid question. If you cannot heed the call of the National Assembly, then why should someone heed the call of the Nigerian police? So that is.
All right, Inspector General, please heed the advice of Cynthia. All right, let's look at this other issue, talking about Buhari embarking on for the medical trip, and PDP says, stop deceiving Nigerians about your health.
This is one of the very interesting things that the PDP love to hear. They always like it when stories like this come out. But the thing is, from the letter I saw, someone shared the letter. I think that was last night or so. It was the doctor asked to see him. That was during his previous trip. So definitely they have done some tests, and you say, okay, come back, let's do proper. But I think that the state of the president's health, well, we never could tell what state it is right now, but we definitely know that he needs it. Apart from having his party, nobody can really point out what exactly is the sickness that's wrong with the president, but we definitely know, looking at his age, he definitely needs these regular checkups. They are very, very important for someone.
You wonder what's going to happen if he wins the 2019 elections. We're having
Mugabe. I think
charge.
It's time for him to rest.
All right, let's look at the other big story here. EFCC charges ex-Plateau Governor Jang with 6.3 billion naira fraud. Do we blame the ex-governor, or do we blame CBN that gave him a whooping big amount of money, just a month to his expiration in office, because that was where he diverted this money? Who do we hold responsible, knowing that?
Well, the institution that dished out such amount of money, knowing the timing, you see that, knowing the timing, I think is the institution that is meant to be held, and in this case, it is the CBN. So everyone should be held responsible.
All right, just to get your last view on this story as regards Milai to be heard on Thursday, what are your expectations?
I expect that it should be handled with all level of fairness. Okay. I expect that the right thing should be done. I expect that whatever evidence that is being presented, whatever witness that is going to be brought, whatever it is that is going to happen at the court, everything should just be done with all level of fairness. And if you feel that, if everything, not matter of feelings right now, but if everything has been viewed and shown that, okay, this person is guilty of whatever it is, and you want to, just the right thing, I expect the right thing to be done, because this is not a time for us to lose trust in our judicial system. That is not an option at all. All
right, CJN, you get the job done, hopefully. Let's go to the leadership newspaper.
The leadership this morning, we have so many interesting stories here. On page 5, PNB takes new security measures against killings. And of course, we have the rider here, allegation of shielding herdsmen, beer parlor gossip. This is coming from the presidency. And the federal government spends 42 trillion naira on importation in 5 years. IGP must honor Senate summons, Saraki insists. That is on page 6. Zamfara APC Congress, Ross says Marafa. UBA revolutionizes SMEs payment with MasterPass QR. That is on page 30. And behind the leadership, we have Farmers Headers Crisis Bureaucratized Advice to Benue State. You definitely want to read that. All right, so let's talk about the amount that has been spent on importation, that has been spent on importation in 5 years, 42 trillion naira.
I think if those monies were plowed back into the system to try to get at least 2 out of the 4 refineries working, it would have done more good to the Nigerian system than import. But obviously we know that there are a lot of interest, selfish interest, who gain more when importations are being done. And also if you take into account the fact that the subsidy payments, even without the approval of the National Assembly, has been holding sway for a long time, tells you why these refineries will not get repaired, because people are benefiting from their continuous state. But it's a very sad commentary. We expect that the government should do the right thing, get at least 2 out of the 4 fixed and get it up and running. Then whatever we're able to generate as in profit from the 2 already working, we can employ it back to fix the remaining 2. So I think it's just the willpower to do the right thing.
Willpower to do the right thing.
All right, let's go to the Daily Sun. The big story is there said trouble in APC as state chapters implode. Thugs sack Ekiti Esco, protest rocks Cross River, Enugu and other states. We've got Buhari embarks on medical trip to UK to keep appointment with doctors. That big story is on page 9 of the Daily Sun. We've got outrage over Kaduna killings. Buhari approves new security measures. McAfee, Sani condemn attacks. Find details on page 43 of the Daily Sun. And now we've got a loot in Jonathan's government under probe in UK, says the presidency. By the picture story you see on the Daily Sun shows members of the PDP and supporters protesting the assault on Senator Matthew Orohide, who accused President Muhammadu Buhari of committing impeachable offences in Benin, Lagos State yesterday. All right, then we've got Evans rebels refuses to enter courtroom. Page 4 and 5 is where you get the story of that drama. But let's go into the trouble in APC as states chapters implode. I like that word. Does that give us a good picture of the crisis rocking the all promises?
No, the all progressives.
All progressives Congress.
All
Okay.
progressives.
All right.
All right. Well, the thing is,
Did you get that?
I got that. I got that. So this is not the first time we're getting to hear issues so, in the APC. Yeah, but I think that, like I always say, this should not be the time for things like this to start happening. This should not be the time.
Are you against the Nigerian people?
How can I ever be against the Nigerian people?
Because I think if this is happening, it's good for the Nigerian people because now they could make a better choice and get to, give the other political parties a chance to bring more credible candidates.
On the contrary, I do not think that way.
All right.
On the contrary, now, if the APC is in good shape,
okay,
the PDP is in good shape, the YDP is in good shape, every other party that is there is in good shape, it will give everybody the standing battle between yourself and see who can be able to win the heart of the Nigerian people. Okay. But if one side is already having issues and does not have the standing to stand for the battle,
okay,
the Nigerian people now will not have a focus and a direction. In that way, there will be no way for you to say, okay, this person was actually, but let everybody come out and debate it. Let everybody come out and fight for it, and let us see who the Nigerian people really love. So I do not see it that the APC should start having problems.
So
and
you know
then
my
people,
fear?
What is your fear?
If the PDP is in good standing and the APC is in good standing,
if that party is in good standing,
they've got the money bags. Don't forget, these two parties have the money bags to technically force the people to change their mindset with you know what. And so, if that's the case, then there's no level playing ground for everyone else. But if the two
and that is why they have to battle for it
out, then the play becomes level for everyone else because no more money bags involved. So we're going to have, based on credibility, taking sway.
No,
all right, so let's go to the next
I don't
story.
think so.
I don't think so. Just to get your views on this other story, we've got a loot in Jonathan's government under probe in UK, says presidency. Are they saying there are no corruption cases currently going on under this watch?
There are a whole lot of, well, it is not my place to say there are a whole lot of corruption. I am not the ICPC boss, so, but we the Nigerian people, we definitely know that the whole
Well, I know you remember the SSG, the former SSG.
We know.
Okay.
We know that the whole of things is going on. A lot
All
of
right,
things going on.
Let's look at the blueprint and see what the print says.
All right, the big story is $36.37 billion spent on fuel importation in 5 years. This is coming from the CBN. Reps give NMPC 24 hours to provide term details. That is on page 6. You will find this a very, very interesting story. Graft war, not attack on human rights. That is presidency speaking, and it's on page 6. I have not had good food in detention. It's coming from Evans, and it's on page 20. Buhari off to UK for medical attention. That is on page 5. Our governors are ignorant. That is Catholic Bishop on page 8. 13 killed in just cult clash. That is on page 5. And Saraki Dogara to Buhari. We must call IGP to order. And you'll find that story continues on page 6. Sarah Fashola explain 500 billion naira spent on privatized power sector. That is on page 8. Sorry.
Interesting question.
Of the blueprint. And lastly, I would say Saraki sponsors 100 Muslims, Christians on pilgrimage annually. That is on page 9. You will find that. And then behind, there's something very interesting behind. You want to definitely see on the blueprint. Glasgow to host Davis Cup playoff and petrol subsidy, Senate versus NMPC. And there's something very interesting here that caught my attention.
Okay. The cartoon?
Yes, it's tattoo Megida, and he said, "How I made millions after my marriage collapsed." This is Miriam Sita, and the next statement is, "I can smell many broken homes in the making."
Okay, don't go there.
Exactly,
All right,
don't go there. All right, so we've talked about the importation, and we've talked about
Saraki sponsoring. I wanted to on whose account?
Well, on his account. Is it your account?
Definitely.
But I think him fostering 100 Christians and Muslims, for pilgrimage, is a good one. But like we asked, on whose account? I think it's on his account. It will definitely be on his account. All right, so Sarah Fashola explained the 500 billion naira spent on privatized power sector.
Yeah, Fashola has always had something to say when it had to do with power. Remember when he came in initially, the first thing he said, let's pay the bills first, the power is going to get better. But at a point, he's changed his tone. Then there was a time when he talked about metering and all that, the trying to move the burden of acquiring a meter on the Nigerian citizens, which was in the initial deal. And so he has always come out to say one thing or the other, but one thing he has not done is come out to say, okay, finally, power is going around like it should. The distribution is perfect. Nigerians are getting full value for their money. He has never come out to say that, meaning that he has not succeeded. And the big question is he still capable of handling 3 ministries all in one? It just smacks of, for me, personal opinion, smacks of, being selfish. Because naturally it should be shared amongst 1 or 2 more persons to get efficiency, because it's just too large for one man to get it done with, especially when he's a lawyer by training and not really a technical person per se. So let's see what plays out in the coming days.
All right, so what's happening in the sporting
All right,
world?
in the sporting arena, still World Cup is drawing really close. The big stories on the Sporting Life says Salah wins the CL goal of the week. And that's talking about the Champions League goal of the week, is winning anything in sight. All right, we've got Russia 2018 World Cup indeed recovering faster than anticipated. Royal delighted, still ruled out of DR Congo and England's friendly matches. On the DR Congo friendly, players' medical reports delay Super Eagles list. The list should be out on Monday. The national team coach says, don't put pressure on the Super Eagles. That big story is on page 4. And back to fitness is Onazi Hill's Super Eagles trainer, and he will be happy to give Arsene Wenger perfect send-off. Find the story on page 4. We've got Ramos talking about the captain of Real Madrid says, I could make China move. And Ribery signs 1-year extension of his contract with Bayern Munich. We've got no offer from Messi, says Bartomeu, the president of Barcelona. And the other story is here, Hughes says we are ready for Swansea. It's going to be a dogfight as Swansea tries to escape relegation today. They'll be having a big game. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'll be fit for final. Talking about the World Cup. It's going to be a sad World Cup if Ronaldo actually didn't make it. But thank God, expectations are high that he's going to be there at the World Cup. Those are the big stories making the round on the Sporting Life. Go grab one and get more details on the preparations of your darling Super Eagles.
Amazing. All right, this is the part I love so much. You promised me. Yes, you did.
All right, I'll be going for another quick break. When we come back, Cynthia Agbo will be taking us to the part she loves the most.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. All-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
welcome back to the program. It's the Daybreak Nigeria right here on Television Nigerian. My name is Cynthia. Well, this is the part where we go through the nation's file. And like we told you earlier on, we're looking at the Republic of Benin. And now let's say that the Benin, officially the Republic of Benin, and formerly Dahomey, is a country in West Africa. The kings of Dahomey sold their world captive into transatlantic slavery. Otherwise, the captive would have been killed in a ceremony known as the annual customs. By about 1750, the king of Dahomey was earning an estimated 250,000 per year by selling Africans to the European slave traders.
It is bordered by Togo to the west, Nigeria to the east, and Burkina Faso and Niger to the north. The majority of its population lives on the small southern coastline of the Bay of Benin, part of the Gulf of Guinea, and the northernmost tropical portion of the Atlantic Ocean. The capital of Benin is Porto Novo, but the seat of government is in Cotonou, the country's largest city and economic capital. Benin covers an area of 104,763 square kilometers, and its population in 2015 was estimated to be approximately 10.88 million.
Benin is a tropical nation highly dependent on agriculture with substantial employment and income arising from subsistence farming. The official language of Benin is French. However, indigenous languages such as Fon and Yoruba are commonly spoken. The largest religious group in Benin is Roman Catholicism, followed closely by Islam, Vodou, and Protestantism.
Oh boy. Benin is a member of the United Nations, the African Union, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the South Atlantic Peace and Cooperation Zone, La Francophone, the Community of Sahel-Saharan States, the African Petroleum Producers Association, and the Niger Basin Authority. Benin's politics take place in a framework of presidential representative democratic republic, where the president of Benin is both head of state and head of government within a multi-party system.
Beninese cuisine is known in Africa for its exotic ingredients and flavorful dishes. Why are you laughing? Thinking about food.
The food.
Beninese cuisine involves fresh meals served with a variety of key sauces. In southern Benin cuisine, the most common ingredient is corn, often used to prepare dough, which is mainly served with peanut or tomato-based sauces. Fish and chicken are the most common meats used in southern Beninese cuisine, but beef, goat, and bush rat are also consumed.
Oh boy, it reminds me of Benue State. All right, the main staple in northern Benin is yams, often served with sauces mentioned above. The population in the northern provinces use beef and pork meat, which is fried in palm or peanut oil or cooked in sauces. Cheese is used in some dishes. Couscous, rice, beans are commonly eaten along with fruits such as mangoes, oranges, avocados, bananas, kiwi fruit, and pineapples.
Meat is usually quite expensive, and meals are generally light on meat and generous on vegetable fat. Frying in palm or peanut oil is the most common meat preparation, and smoked fish is commonly prepared in Benin. Now, the president of Benin Republic is Patrice Talon. Population is 10.87 million as of 2016. World Bank Universities, National University of Benin, currency CFA France, and West African CFA France.
All right, that's all you need to know about Benin Republic in West Africa. All right, let's go to the next discussion. We're looking at something that took place yesterday. You want to take us to it? I know you're so excited. Let us in.
Okay. Well, we've had a whole lot of activities from over the weekend to yesterday being Monday, and before I start with what happened over the weekend, which was the headies, which you were thinking that you were still waiting for, but maybe you have to organize your own headies.
KTV and headies.
Exactly. Yesterday we had the MET Gala Awards, and of course the team was the Heavenly Bodies. So everyone had to come dressed
Heavenly.
as perhaps maybe Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel. You have to come dressed like one of the Heavenly Bodies. And yesterday, for me, I think people who really killed it on the red carpet. You have to sit and enjoy the spot so much. People who really killed it for me on the red carpet was Rihanna. I looked.
Why Rihanna? We know her for nudity
No,
and her flair in good music.
No. I don't know her for nudity. I don't know how you know her. Why nudity of all? I don't know her for nudity. I know her as a fashion killer. Oh yes.
So what did she do yesterday?
As usual, she brought life to the red carpet. I remember, I think it was 2016 or so, during this same award, she came in looking like what some people here in Nigeria will say fried egg. It was everywhere. But this time around, the team, she worked with the team, and it was the Heavenly Bodies, and she came in looking like the Pope. Now that was amazing. How I wish I had pictures to show you out there.
What an irony.
But it was really amazing. Trust me. And another person that killed it for me on the red carpet was Cardi B. Despite the fact that she is pregnant, but she made pregnancy look beautiful on that outfit that she came out with. And of course, to be honest with you, I was looking forward to see what Nicki Minaj was going to come up with, but I was disappointed. Yes. Apart from, I think the color she chose, red and some patches of black, did not really do justice to her person. Yes, it didn't really do justice to her person.
In your assessment?
Not just my assessment alone. Now, most fashion lovers, the truth is, most fashion lovers, when they put in, it's just that, let me say, very soon, as the day goes by, you see the different analysis of this outfits coming up very soon. You will see the fashion police will have theirs, different people will have theirs. But hear this from me first of all. Nicki did not compete. Right now the competition is between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So I was expecting to see something amazing, something disastrous, positive disaster. I was expecting to see something competitive, sort of. Let me use the word competitive between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. But I didn't see that there was a landslide victory from Cardi B. Yes, there was a landslide victory for Cardi B as against Nicki Minaj. Nicki came with this, very long.
She was counting on her hips and her physical attributes to sell whatever she was putting on.
The outfit made her so fat. Now, I am not saying being fat is a crime, no, but it made her look full.
Okay.
It didn't do justice. Yes, it didn't do justice to bringing out her hips and
her curves.
those features that she possessed. It didn't do justice in bringing that out. But Cardi B, despite the fact that she's pregnant, the outfit gave her everything, and it took 1 month to make Cardi B's outfit. So she really prepared to kill the show. And if you look at Cardi B is someone who is very, very conscious about how she goes out, what she wears, especially on occasions like this that has to do with the red carpet. She always likes to kill it on the red carpet. And if care is not taken, we might just have to see another Rihanna coming up from the hip hop, the rap world in Cardi B, because she doesn't take for granted what she wears. Another person that actually for me on the red carpet talking about the team, the Heavenly Bodies, was Katy Perry. Oh, she came in. She had one of the designers, but I don't want to call the name right now. One of the designers, and it was with the wings, and it was amazing. And then the part where Rihanna gave Ezzy a loud juke.
But do you think she really cared if Rihanna stopped to acknowledge or not?
No, it was so
the
obvious.
All stars up there, and once you're a star, you're a star.
But we have star and we have stars. Okay.
Star. Is a star.
No. We have star
Don't
and we have
politics
stars.
with it.
No, I'm not playing politics with it. I'm just being realistic.
You're a fan of Rihanna, so obviously you want to think she has an edge. But
I love Ezie.
Some other persons will say no, Rihanna isn't it for them.
No, I love Ezie. I love her style of music. I love the fact that she doesn't when she's singing, she doesn't care how you see it. Just the same way Rihanna is. She doesn't care how you see it. You know, she gives out her all when she's singing. I love Ezie. But if you look at the video, you know, it was very obvious that they were working together on the red carpet. They were climbing up the stairs. And so Ezie, which was, you know, of course, because of the dress was very long.
So you have to consider that the fact that the dress they were wearing obviously might not have even allowed Rihanna that space to spare 1 or 2 minutes.
This year's that dress was not overflowing, but it was the bomb.
To make conversations while on the red carpet. Moving on.
No, Rihanna's dress was not the flowing one. Ezie's dress was the flowing one. But they were, you know, when you see, is it like, for example, we're walking on the stairs and I see, and I'm like, hey, Anthony, how are you? Do you understand? And then you are like, okay, can we go front? Yeah, something like that. So you just give me a loud you come and you don't even answer me. It was so obvious. But in as much as I feel bad, you know, about that, but well, Rihanna has a way of always saying, okay, don't worry, I didn't really mean that. And another person that killed it for me on the red carpet was
the last
Kim.
person, right?
Kim, no, not the last person, not the last person. Kim gave, you know, that body, that shape. Kim was the bomb on the red carpet. Exactly. It was amazing. And then for the guys. I
thought you wouldn't go there.
Of course. Why would I go there? I can't remember his name right now. But the guy that was the lead actor in this movie, Black Panther. Yes,
his name. Very famous name. How could you forget his name?
How can I forget his name? Yes. He did. He, for me, for the night, he was the best dressed male on the red carpet. And then we had this couple, Clooney? So yeah, they were on the red carpet and they were the bomb. To me, they were the best couple together on the red carpet. So we had a whole lot of fantastic people on the red carpet at the awards yesterday. It was
congrats
amazing.
to all those that nailed it, and for those that didn't quite hit it right.
That didn't come out fantastic at all.
Yeah. All right, that's how we will call that segment a wrap up. We'll go for a quick break. We'll come back. We'll be looking at something very interesting you don't want to miss.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that territorial peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. And all-embracing curriculum for total development of child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Welcome back to the Daybreak Nigeria show. It's on television, Nigeria. My name is Anthony Momodu, and you will see Cynthia Boy in the best free flow. Yes, she is.
No, why you making me feel terrible right now?
No, I just ushered you into your
Into my
forte.
what? Into my what? Anyway, we're looking at the headies, that happened over the weekend. The same
Headies I was expecting next
that
weekend.
he was expecting next weekend actually took place last weekend, and the headies has a whole lot of drama accompanying the headies. And apart from the fact that
Was it true that it seemed to it leaned towards one ethnic group? Like some people said it leaned towards the Yoruba race, some said towards the Igbo race. What was the true picture?
Well, what I would say, my analysis of the headies was that they had the organizers. I think they did not really do a perfect job, because from this there was sound problems,
Okay.
and there was sound issues, and also the awards. Some people did not come to collect their awards. Yes, I don't have a problem with the people that were giving the awards. We have people like Simi. Simi went on with 3 awards. Davido went on with 3 awards. Whiskey went with 3 awards. That they went with 1 award. We have the
Adekunle go, no.
No, Adekunle did not have any award, and exactly.
Was that?
Well, but looking at the year in view,
Okay, indeed.
look at the year,
2016,
yes,
2017.
2017. Yeah, we would say that Adekunle did a very good job, yes. But looking at the categories, we know that maybe he wasn't able to stand the test of time at that time. Yeah, but when Twitter, moving on the street of Twitter, when people went to tell him, nobody even talked about you.
In France also.
Yeah, and then you know what his response was? He said, Simi won 3 awards, so she won for all of us.
Easy way out.
That was actually his response to when people said saying he didn't have any award. And so some people also saying that Whiskey won 3 awards for him and Tiwa Savage. Some a whole lot of stories are coming out from that angle. But I mean, they won an award, and Johnny Drill also did not go with an award. But I was happy for him. He had like 4 nominations, and that was good. So that means that he can work hard next time. And then we had the next rated, which was Mayokun, and it was surprising. I think that Mayokun being the next rated, some people have come out to say that why would Mayokun be the next rated? It's meant to be Malik Berry.
But I think Miracle, he deserves it. I think he
does.
He did a lot. If you check the time frame, he popped into the scene and was able to make a mark. Then he should get the accolade.
Yes, exactly. He deserves the accolade. So I think that Mayokun has done a great. If you look at, I think Mayokun had a hat trick. Yes, because look at all his songs. They have been
nature now.
yes, they've had massive acceptance. Even the song that he has right now, it's just going up and up and up. That the one that talks about "Money be fine, Bobo." So it's just blowing everybody's mind. And then the video also had hat trick. Simi had hat trick.
He has done a lot.
Biscuit had hat trick, so it was super amazing. So I think that the organization of the headies need to really work on something, because we have always had a headies where there's always one complaint or the other. I think from 2015 thereabouts, the complaint about headies have just been ongoing, and then some people have come out to say that why is it that Olamide did not have an award this time? Are they having issue? Is it because of the issue that took place in 2015, where he said that Liv Kesh was meant to be the next rated and it was given to Ricardo Banks?
It's not meant for him to decide who should be the next rated. Yes, we know he's good, he's done that, but he should let it be for the organizers and the judges who is their role. I think he was interfering by making that statement.
Well, like I would always say, I would say that this is entertainment. In as much as I say that politics is a good business, I would like to say that entertainment is a good business. In entertainment,
It's a better business.
is a better business. Entertainment, no, not a better business. Entertainment is a good business also. Politics might just be a better business. You never can tell. But the whole lot of things happening in the world of entertainment that you cannot just understand. And looking at that time, yes, you will agree with me that Lil Kesh was fantastic at that time. Also, Ricardo Banks was also fantastic.
But funny enough, I from in my own ratings, I think I put Ricardo ahead of Lil Kesh.
Is it because you like Easy JJ?
No, not really. I think his songs, technically, they're meaningful if you listen closely. He's playing with words are very constructive, very artistic. There's just something about his message. He has a way of taking me back to Two-Face in the way he
Okay.
passes his message with the kind of song he plays, and he looks responsible. He acts responsible. You've never heard anything controversial about him. He's young, but
Have you heard
still
about
very.
anything controversial about Lil Cash?
Not really, but
Okay.
I think Kurban just cuts it. He has this image of someone who is young, determined, and focused, very focused, and I think I like that about him.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, but I would say if we keep Ricardo Banks and keep Lil Cash, I don't see any basis of competition. Look at their style of music.
Okay.
They have different styles
Style
of
of music,
music.
obviously.
Yes, we all know it's a Nigerian style of music, but the truth is that Lil Cash's song have a class of people that appeals to them. Ricardo Banks also have.
How would you put the class?
If you ask me, for fun, I mean, I love music. Anything that has to do with sound, I love it. So I love Ricardo Banks' music. I love Lil Cash's music also. So I do not have.
Do you think
side,
for
but-
Cash is more for the youths, the teenagers,
For Cash,
but
it's for
Ricardo
people
for
who.
older and
No, on the contrary, for Cash, it's more for people that want to gyrate, for people that want to feel irate. Let me use those type of words. For people that
so
want to.
You're going the direction I'm saying.
Now,
for
but
younger people.
even for Lil people who also want, even for Lil Cash, there are also people that want to gyrate, people that want to feel irate, people that want to, enjoy themselves. But once in a while, Ricardo has a way of adding, some
I think
very,
Ricardo's songs,
like
you could play them on
Catapult, for
corporate-
example.
on corporate levels, it could still come in very handy. That's how it.
Yes, we know that, but it still has a category. Everybody, they all have their categories. And that is why I give respect to a man like Don Jazzy. That if you go to his small community, you will have all classes of people. There you have Johnny Drill, you have Ricardo, you have Tiwa Savage, and you have Dija, you have Dr. Seed, you have is it Wandeko? No.
Wando is out.
Is out.
Is
We
on
have
his
what's this DMA. If you look at that circle, he has all the type of sound in that circle.
But in as much as he has all the type of sound in that circle, there's something unique about every of those sounds.
That's what I'm saying.
There's this maturity in each of them.
Every single. I forgot to mention Korede Bello also. Yes.
Yeah, Korede Bello.
They have their
Couldn't miss it.
identity. All of them.
Yeah, once you hear, this is it.
This is the person. So also we in Olamide's small community also, he has different. The only difference is that in Olamide's style, he has a way of. We had Adekunle Gold was there, Lil Cash was there. What's this? The queen, the only female there. What's her name? Is it Princess? Okay, they call her YBN Princess. Yeah, that's what she's called, YBN Princess. And they have different sounds there also, but his own style is different from Don Jazzy's style. But moving on to the head, I think my overall rating for the head is, assessment for the head is, if I'm to say from 1 over 10, I would give them
6, 7.
5.
Oh boy.
I'll give them 5 over 10.
More work needs to be done.
This particular year, I will give them 5 over 10.
2016, 2017.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give them 5 over 10. And
All
then-
right, we'll talk more about Nigerian music artists. Hopefully on Friday we'll be looking at the mindset of Nigerian music artists. What their mindset is what we'll be discussing on Friday. Hopefully we'll be getting one of the Federal Capital Territory's finest upcoming stars in the studio to come share with us what their mindset feels like, what they think when they make their music, and what they also expect from their fans out there. Do the fans truly make them decide the kind of music they're going to make for us to hear or listen to or not? That's going to be very interesting on Friday. Hope you don't miss out on that. Truly going to be explosive. All right, have more gist for us on the...
I wanted to say something about the Twitter. Some
Yeah.
have been complaining. Yesterday we had Toby one of the Big Brother house made the second runner up was verified yesterday. Miracle was verified yesterday. Who else was verified? Okay, no, basically those two were verified yesterday.
Okay.
And some people are coming and say, why are these two verified? This one is not verified yet. And I want to say this: the process of verification is very simple. Some people apply for it. You apply for it. When you apply for it, I remember when
trying to get followers, it's something we know that people pay for it.
It's not just about followers.
And so I don't think it's a very true reflection of your public appeal. It's just like the FIFA ranking in sports, where FIFA ranks you based on the friendly matches you played over time. It's most times not a true reflection of how good a team is, because when you meet in tournaments, you see a team that is ranked far ahead of you, you beat them silly. So I think when it comes to that Twitter, getting followership, we all know that you can buy followership and all that. So
now, when you buy followers, you will not get verified.
I don't think that's not a true reflection of your public appeal.
Let me explain something to you. If you buy followers, you will not get verified. Do you understand that? You will get verified. Now, the real followers, of course.
And what's the criteria of verification? Who does the verification?
You need to have real followers.
When you buy followers, are they not real followers?
No, they're not real followers.
They're what?
They are dummies.
No,
let me explain to you. They are called dummies. Okay, that is the word. They are called. There's another word they call them, but they are called dummies. They
if you agree with her, you're going to send a message.
Do you understand? Those followers don't participate. Those followers don't do anything. You see somebody like for example on Instagram, for example, you see someone has like 20-something thousand followers, and you have only 10 likes on your picture. Do you understand?
No, that doesn't mean they don't participate. I think they are there, but it also is another way you can really tell if they truly follow you. Because if they do follow you, then they definitely would be participating.
Anthony, I think no matter how I explain to you right now on set, you're not going to understand until like after set, I will take my time
I'm going to go for lessons after.
To explain that to you properly so you get to understand.
Join me for the lessons after the show to get to know all about the Twitter theme. All right, that's how we'll be calling Africa's finest breakfast show, Daybreak Nigeria, on Television Nigeria, a wrap. It's been awesome sharing our breakfast with you. Even some of our guests didn't show up, so we couldn't look at some of those issues, but definitely they'll be coming in the coming days. But it's been awesome sharing all the big stories on the foreign scene, especially the trend in India where teenagers are being raped and murdered. A very sad commentary coming from India. We hope the government and the people of India will do the right thing and stop the killing of young innocent girls so that their future can be truly right. Then also the world today is agog waiting to hear what Trump has to say as regards pulling out from the Iranian nuclear deal, and we hope that everything will be sorted out and common sense would prevail. And another worrisome story we give to you today was the fact that the U.S. address sign-up is up and running in Jerusalem. Remember that U.S. has decided to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, causing lots of issues with the Palestinian state, and we're keeping our fingers crossed to see what plays out. Those are some of the big stories that made the rounds on the international scene. And I want to say a big thank you to the entire production team, from the program manager, intern, to Mr. Noel, who is our IT guru, the man behind the mask, and also Josh, assisting Noel getting the job done and making us come out really good. I want to say a big thank you to Philip, also, he's a cameraman behind the mask, and also the studio manager, Donald. He's from Djibouti, so to say.
No, he's not from Djibouti. He just likes Djibouti.
Djibouti, okay.
It's a different type of Djibouti, actually. And anyway, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, you are on the long term. Be sure to do that and invite your friends and colleagues and every other person to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On our Twitter and Instagram is our TV Nigerian. My name is Cynthia Agbo. And everything you do not forget that life is very, very sweet, so don't waste it. And do remember that you cannot climb the ladder of success with both hands in your pocket. From me to you, to have a wonderful day ahead.
Anthony Momodu, good morning. Hearing on bail application by Senator Melai adjourned. President Buhari to face House Committee over state of refineries. African Development Bank to support countries towards industrialization. These and more stories in a moment. I am Anthony Momodu with the AM News. The Chief Justice of Kogi State High Court, Nasiru Ajana, has adjourned hearing on the bail application of Senator Dino Melaye. Ajana adjourned the hearing till Thursday, May 10th. The judge explained that the bail application was adjourned due to the failure of the lawyers for the police and Melaye to file their affidavit on the matter. Melaye and two others were remanded in police custody by the same court over alleged unlawful possession of arms. The chairman of the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on the state of the nation's 4 refineries, their turnaround modular licensed refineries, Representative Garba Dati Mohammed, has revealed that President Muhammadu Buhari would face the committee over the state of the country's refineries. He explained that a letter was written inviting the president to enable members of the committee to ask him questions on the state of the refineries. This, according to him, would help the committee get to the root of endless commitment of huge resources to the refineries without positive results. He lamented the poor performance of the refineries despite the amount of money spent on them, stating that the House would intervene in order to end fuel importation in the country. The African Development Bank says it will support 5 countries with industrial policies to help boost development in the region. Manager of Industrial Development, Al-Hassan Hadara, disclosed this in an interview in Abidjan. He named 5 countries to include Nigeria, Senegal, Ethiopia, Morocco, and Algeria. According to him, the bank will help the countries in developing policies that will drive industrial development in various sectors of the economy. He added that this would go a long way to boost economic development and increase foreign direct investment. Still ahead, notorious kidnapper Evans creates scene at court.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
Thanks for being there. There was mild drama at the Igbosheri High Court after notorious kidnapper Chukwudumeme Onwu Amadike, also known as Evans, refused to come down from the prison van. TVN News gathered that Evans, who is currently facing charges bordering on conspiracy to kidnap and attempted murder, was expected to appear in court as part of his ongoing trial. Drama, however, ensued on getting to the court premises as the suspect stayed glued in the van and refused to come down. Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari said it took the intervention of the judge, Justice Adedayo Akintoye, who ordered that the defendant should be forcefully brought into the courts. On the foreign scene, Danish inventor Peter Madsen is contesting his life sentence imposed for murdering Swedish journalist Kim Wall on his submarine. Madsen, 47, was convicted last month of premeditated murder of Miss Wall, 30, and dismembering her body. The Danish prosecutor's office tweeted that his appeal relates solely to his sentence and not the issue of guilt. In Denmark, the sentence range for murder is between 5 years and life. The prosecutor's office added that Madsen's appeal could not be interpreted as an admission of guilt. Sorensen died earlier this year, while Konveski is still in jail. That's the AM news on Televsion Nigerian. The headlines again. Hearing on bail application by Senator Melaye adjourned. President Buhari to face House Committee over state of refineries. African Development Bank to support countries towards industrialization. Remember, don't let money run your life. Let money help you run your life better. I am Anthony Momodu. Good morning.